What's going on, guys? Today I've got another piece of gear to review. This is the Fishman Loudbox. This is the Performer and it's 180 watts. It has an 8-inch driver and a separate tweeter for those crispy highs. It's got 2 channels, it has built-in effects, and it has 2 different effects that you can run at once. Now I've got effect A selected for some reverb and I have effect B set up for chorus. Now it does come with a 2-button foot switch right there, and you can toggle the second effect on and off with the switch, but the effect A is an always on effect. So it has a control level for each one, and you can manipulate the time if you got a reverb setting, or if it's a delay, you can change the delay time and things like that. And if you got on effect B, if you're using a chorus, then it has a depth control for that. So it's got you covered with most of the basics that you would need for an acoustic guitar performance. And if you need anything fancier than that, I would recommend just using a dedicated pedal for something like something specific that this amp might not have for you, or if you want to toggle specific things. So we're going to get going here. Oh, it also has phantom power. So if you have a vocal mic like our singer, he has a vocal mic that needs phantom power. He has one of the Neumanns, and it's really cool that that's built in. So if you're running your guitar and your microphone into this amp, you've got your phantom power for your vocal mic covered. So that's nice. I'm going to be using my Martin RIGPC Aura GT, and it's going to be set up right now with one of the Fishman images in there, but I will turn it to where it's just the transducer under the saddle, so you can kind of hear what that sounds like. I mean, it's a typical Piezo, however you pronounce it. It's that typical sound, but I'll show it just so you can get an idea if your guitar doesn't have any kind of special processing, or you don't have any sort of IRs that you're using with an IR loader, using an effects box, you know, outside of your guitar, kind of what you can expect from the amp if you're just running an under pickup saddle. So all right, let's get going here. And I've got the camera also pointed at the control layout, so if I make some changes there, you can kind of see how it affects things. So let's get going, and this is just a basic, just some little bit of reverb there, some hall reverb, and I'll play a little bit. And what I've got going here with the signal path, I've got the Aston Origin microphone about a foot in front of the amp, and I've also got the line out running DI into my interface. And I'll flip-flop between the two to let you hear kind of what the difference sounds like in terms of just standing in front of the amp versus running DI into the house, what that might sound like. So here we go. Little chorus. All right, I'm going to change the chorus a little bit to lower the depth, make it a little bit more shallow so you can hear what that sounds like. Okay, I'm going to move all the way down to the transducer pickup so there's no imaging whatsoever. The Aura system is such a huge game changer. I mean, it just makes the guitar sound so much more natural, and having everything built in is just super nice. It's literally the one and only reason I got this guitar. I only played it plugged in, only played it live, and I wanted just a great plugged-in acoustic guitar sound, and it just happens to also sound great unplugged, happens to play really well, got good upper fret access, just a really good guitar. So yeah, I have literally zero complaints about this thing other than kind of wishing it had locking tuners, but you know, I like locking tuners. Makes things easy and fast. Let's try some other effects on Effects A. All right, I've changed over to Reverb 1 and I've bumped the time up a little bit. All right, now this is a little delay here. Let me bump the effect level up. It's kind of hard to hear. All right, I'm back on Reverb 2 and I've bumped the level up, so it's going to be a bigger reverb. All right, I'm going to sweep through the EQ section now so you can hear what sort of change and impact that has on the sound. Get going here. And I'll adjust the tweeter here. It's all the way down. This is at noon. And all the way up. Okay, now I'm going to play the Godin Multiac Steel, and it's got some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve on how you can get a lot of different sounds out of this thing. So it has a Seymour Duncan lipstick pickup here with the volume and tone control like you would typically have. It also has a microphone pickup underneath the saddle inside the guitar with the level control for that. It also has your typical under saddle transducer piezo pickup with a 3-band EQ, a level, and basically like a saturation slider, but it doesn't do a whole lot. It kind of thickens it up just a little bit. And when we play this guitar live, I really just prefer to run only the transducer under the saddle into the Fishman Aura DI box with the imaging, and I think it sounds great doing that. It's not quite as good as the Martin, but it's good enough that it gives a much better sound than what you'll hear here in terms of like just a natural sounding acoustic. This is still very much a piezo, kind of that spanky, quacky sound that you get from your typical transducer pickup. But let's hear how it sounds through the Fishman. I've still got a little bit of reverb on there, and I've got the effect B set to the chorus. So this is what this sounds like. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video for the Fishman Loudbox Performer Acoustic Amp. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're looking for an all-in-one grab-and-go, plug-and-play solution for a live acoustic performance, I think that this thing is a killer product. Now at $1,000, it's kind of a big ask, but it's an all-in-one solution. And if you're considering something like maybe an FR speaker, which I've always used on stage, keep in mind that you probably have to have additional equipment sending your the guitar signal into the FR to get it sounding exactly how you want, whereas this thing, you can kind of just plug it in, tweak some controls, and you're good to go. So I think that there's a lot of value in that compared to an FR. And at our show, we played a private party for a guy, and we had a full drum kit out there with this thing sitting behind the drums, and man, it hung in there like a champ. We had a Bose, one of the Bose sound systems, the tall skinny thing and the subwoofer on the bottom, and a QSE K12 for our main PA. And I was splitting the signal out of my Fractal FM3, one going into the Fishman and another going into the PA. And the Fishman was able to essentially overpower the rest of the PA. It was so loud. So had to kind of dial this back and do a little bit more fine tuning on the output with the PA system. But it was very impressive in terms of just the sheer power and grunt this thing has from a little 8-inch speaker. I don't know how they did it, and 180 watts, I don't know how they did it, but it's a very loud amp. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to use. And the mute switch was clutch, man. I had the Taylor with the little sound hole microphone, and occasionally I would turn a little bit too close to the amp and get that runaway feedback that happens, and just being able to quickly kill the signal with the mute switch and cut off that feedback loop, it was a huge help. So no complaints there. If you're interested in checking this thing out, I will have an affiliate link in the video description. Again, another big shout out to Zzounds for sending this to me to try out for a little while and see what I think. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, hit the subscribe button and join me on this this cool new gear experiment journey that we're on. And yeah, I got some cool stuff coming. One in particular I'm really excited about, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll check you guys in the next video. Take care.